Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry now requiring the state's agencies to track all costs associated with illegal immigration in order to be transparent with the people and the bill they are forced to pay. For more on this, let's welcome in Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill and former acting secretary for the Department of Homeland Security, Chad Wolf. Guys, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
Madam Attorney General, what is your take on this? I'd like to get the Cajun law take on what's going on to the west of the great state of Louisiana right now.
You know, look, we've got an interstate that runs straight in from the border. So, I think you hear it often said that every state is now a border state. And that's true for us, too. Our interstates have become freeways for fentanyl to be mainlined into the country. And it's affecting even the smallest towns and cities in our state. And I think that's true in every state. You know, just a little pill bottle can bring 14,000 fatal doses of fentanyl in from the border, and they're just not stopping any of the traffic. So it affects all of our states.
Yeah, this isn't a Louisiana problem, as you just said. This is an American problem. According to the executive order, though, the border crisis is costing American taxpayers $451 billion annually. Chad, when you see that number and you see what the Biden administration has not done to curb this, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Not only do we talk about the illegality along that border and the public safety and the national security threats, but what is this crisis costing the American taxpayer, right? From a public education, public safety, healthcare system, all the downstream costs that illegal immigration does to the country and to these communities across the country. So I think it's a great move by the governor. I think more states should do this. I think we need to have a real accounting of what it's costing American taxpayers to continue to transport, to house, to take care of all of these illegal immigrants that are coming in, over the last 3 years. We should be enforcing the law along that border. We should be stopping this deluge and making sure that if individuals want to come into the United States to work, to visit, that they do so legally and not the illegal activity that we see along the border today.
Yeah. Chad, 3 years ago, I wasn't sure about using the word invasion. But now when we see videos like the videos that we're showing this morning and the images coming from the southern border, I don't think that word goes far enough to describe what's happening at the southern border and the fact that 8 million people in Joe Biden's 3 years have crossed the southern border illegally. Compare that to Ellis Island that was open for 50 years and had 12 million people migrate to the United States legally, not illegally. Attorney General, New York Governor Kathy Hochul just pledged $2.4 billion. And the state of New York, by the way, is failing. We're here right now. Trust me, this state is failing. Do you think that other states will follow your lead and require this information to be transparent? Kathy Hochul says taxes aren't going to be raised. And I'm scratching my head saying, where's that $2.4 billion coming from?
Yeah, I mean, it's just astonishing, the costs of illegal immigration, and that's all being imposed on the taxpayers. I do hope that other states will follow our lead. There's not enough data that's being collected. The Biden administration has no interest or incentive to collect that data. The reason that the governor issued that executive order is because I asked him to do that as the very first action after my inauguration about a week ago. I've been litigating this issue as the former Solicitor General for our state, and I know the problems of collecting data. We know that the Medicaid costs are high. We know that SNAP benefits are increased. We know that we have educational costs. And then there is an impact, a major impact on the criminal justice system, among other many, many, many costs of housing, for one, as you see in New York. So this is a crisis that is of the Biden administration's creation, and they continue to deny that there's even a crisis at the border.
Yeah, Chad, I just want to ask you about this because this has been getting a lot of attention over the last few days as we saw that a mother and her 2 children tragically drowned while trying to cross into Texas in the Rio Grande River. And of course, the Biden administration initially blaming Border Patrol agents, saying they let them drown. But now evidence has come out that this happened an hour before any agents were even on duty. No one was even there at the time. Yet we're not hearing any kind of apology, what we should be hearing from the Biden administration. What do you make of this entire thing?
Well, you won't hear an apology from the Biden administration. Look, the Biden White House continues to espouse lies about the Border Patrol, their actions and their activity. This is also the same White House and the same spokesperson that talked about Border Patrol whipping migrants back in 2021 when we know that's not the case either. And now they're accusing both Governor Abbott and the National Guard there in Texas of allowing these migrants to drown when that's not the case. They had unfortunately drowned a full hour before the governor of Mexico had even contacted the Border Patrol. So again, I think this is the White House trying to politicize an issue. They know they're underwater, literally, on this issue. Poll after poll says the American people do not like the direction that the Biden administration is taking this. And so they're looking for any out. They're looking to blame anyone but themselves. And they only have themselves to blame for this.
Yeah, that water, by the way, in the Rio Grande River, 40 degrees. But with 10,000 people crossing illegally a day in certain sectors, what do you expect the Border Patrol to do? Yeah. This is what Joe Biden is forcing these migrants to do. A mom is forced to take her 2 kids into deep water with strong currents. That's 40 degrees, and this is what happens. And the Biden administration has the temerity, the gall to blame it somehow on Republicans. I don't think the American people are buying it. Chad Wolf, Liz Murrill, great having you on. We should do it again. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.